This is the CHRILLCAST. I'm Chris.
And I'm Billy.
And today is Throwback Thursday. And we're
Oh,
talking about Fire Emblem. The Fire Emblem. The one that was Shozokaga before we got the new version of Fire Emblem on the GBA. This is all the pre-Americanized, pre-English Fire Emblem games. Okay, anyways. Fire Emblem Genealogy: The Holy War is a tactical role-playing game developed by Intelligent Systems and published by Nintendo for the Super Famicom home video game console on May 14th, 1996. Billy, were you alive yet?
got a 1 year old. I was a little
Okay,
baby at
he
this
was playing
point.
this game at 1 year. No, I'm just kidding. It is the fourth installment of the Fire Emblem series and the second to be developed for the platform. Genealogy of the Holy War takes place on the continent of Jundral, split between eight countries founded by the 12 Crusaders, an ancient group of soldiers who ended the rule of the ancient dragon Laptus, is how I'm going to pronounce that, with the divine aid. In the present, a cult working to revive Laptus stirs up war among the countries. The story is told over two generations. The first generation follows Grand Valian Prince Sigurd, while the second follows his son Salif as he works to defeat the cult and avenge his father. Development began after the completion of Fire Emblem Mystery of the Emblem. That's Fire Emblem 3, which is a remake of 1 plus a second quest at the end of number 1, which is all of Marth for both games. Returning staff included director, designer, and scenario writer Shozo Kaga, composer Yuka Sugiyoko, and character designer Katsuyoshi Koya, and producer Gunpei Yokoi. It was actually the last game produced by Gunpei Yokoi at Nintendo. The greater focus was placed on the story compared to previous entries, although the gameplay also saw new additions. Production was turbulent due to staff moves and the unexpected addition of character romance, which we'll get into in a minute, and expanded storyline. First unveiled under the title Inheritors of Light, and that's part of the romance thing. It was originally scheduled for a March release before eventually releasing in May, and it was met with critical and commercial success, which all of the Fire Emblem games in Japan did, except for I think 2 and 5 in Japan. A follow-up title based within the game storyline, Fire Emblem Thracia 776, which is Fire Emblem 5, was released in 1999, with many of the elements introduced in Genealogy of the Holy War reintroduced in later titles, which is the romance. So romance essentially is just this. Pair up two characters in Gen 1, they have a child, and that child appears in the second generation in the game. So it's like a time skip with a next generation kid. So like Fire Emblem Fates did the same thing. They had like kids but they actually had a weird thing where the timeline was connected and like the kids were fighting alongside their parents, which was bizarre to me. So I don't know, but that is like a thing that reappeared later. So Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War is probably most known for being like the most inappropriate Fire Emblem game from aspects of who can hook up with who in the game, we'll say, and their familiar relations. So the joke was made. I'll put it this way: there was a Major League Baseball game meme that I saw recently where the kiss cam came over a brother and a sister, and the guy says, "That's my sister," and then the next panel says, "But it's 2020, so we don't care." And I'm like, "What?" Well, this game didn't care in 1996. We'll put it that way. So there are like familiar relations that hook up in this game, and it's like, oh, okay, all right. And then there's a lot of portrayals of some pretty extreme, that I don't even like, just some things you wouldn't want in games nowadays. We'll put it that way. There are some hookups that aren't mutually agreed upon. We'll say that.
This sounds terrifying.
So this game being re-released, which is a heavily rumored thing, is a little shocking to say the least. I would think this game would have to be heavily adjusted for 2021 based on some of the things that happened in this game. It would not be a first choice in my mind for a remake.
I'm just assuming the family ties are just something maybe they should just leave out, you know?
I mean, technically Fates did the same thing.
All right, this is great.
So
I love
if this game does get announced, I mean, it would make me excited because the gameplay itself is pretty great, and there are really good storylines amongst the really bad ones in this game. And it is one of the biggest. Like if you look at the map size on this, they're just insanely big. If you look at the map size of a Genealogy of the Holy War gameplay, let me see, Genealogy of the Holy War, Fire Emblem. Map. I should just went to Google. Oh well. These maps are massive. Like, let's see. It's like one of these. I'm just gonna pull it up on Serenus Ford. Anyways, the maps are huge. They're like 4 times the size of a GBA game, or like even the size of the Three Houses maps. Like it dwarfs in comparison. These are huge. So like 10 maps in this game takes the same amount of time as 30, 40 maps in Three Houses.
Wow, that's actually that's incredible. That's
It's like
awesome.
a multi-part map. So like you get past one point in the map, and then the map changes. Like part of the scenario is completed. Now, boom, this next part of the scenario enters the map. That's still an ongoing large map. It's
so
pretty cool.
I dig that. I dig that a lot.
So a remake of this would be cool. I don't know how they do it. There's clearly some storyline issues they're gonna have to figure out, and I'm excited if they do. My prediction is like a 50-50 they actually do it. Where are you at? What's your percentage?
I mean, with the whole hinted family relations, I'm very accepting of everything, but family relations is not my cup of tea. But I also don't think that that's going to translate very well. I like personally, I just don't see like. I don't know. I think it's a little rough based on that. Like everything you're telling me, because I haven't played this one for sure. Like based on that, I see slim pickings on that. Like it's very controversial.
Yeah, I think that Nintendo would either alter those relations slightly so that it wouldn't be like instead of being first cousin, they might be third cousins or something, you know,
Yeah,
to make it a little more appropriate. I don't know, but anyways.
definitely.
I'm just saying, like in general, this game would be it'd be a hard sell, I think, in today's market, given some of the themes in it. So I don't know what to see.
Yeah.
And if I misremembered anything, comment down below and tell me how stupid I am. But there's that. As always, I'm Chris,
And I'm Billy, not Will.
and we will see you
On the next CHRILLCAST. Peace.